once upon a time, nestled in a valley painted with emerald grasses and kissed by a babbling brook, lay a charming place known as Whispering Willow's Farm. It was a cheerful farm, bustling with the clucks of chickens, the bleats of silly goats, and the contented moos of dairy cows. But amidst this lively chorus, there was one resident who often felt like a solo note in a grand symphony, a magnificent black bull named Angus. He was strong and powerful, with eyes that held a surprising gentleness. But because of his immense size, the other farm animals kept a respectful distance. On the other side of the farm, in a cozy little farmhouse with a bright blue door, lived a baby boy named Leo. Leo was a bundle of joy with hair the color of sun-ripened corn and eyes as blue as a summer sky. One sunny afternoon, Leo embarked on a grand expedition. He crawled past the clucking chickens, giggled at a ticklish blade of grass, and followed a busy ladybug with unwavering determination. His adventure led him to the edge of a large pasture, and there he saw him. Standing alone under the shade of a weeping willow was Angus. Leo wasn't afraid. He was curious. With a happy gurgle, he crawled under the lowest rail of the fence. Angus, who had been lazily swishing his tail, froze. He watched, his big chocolate eyes wide with wonder, as the tiny boy with corn-colored hair crawled right up to him. Leo reached out a chubby hand and patted Angus's giant nose. It was wet and leathery, and Leo giggled. Angus let out a soft, low rumble from deep within his chest, a sound so gentle it was like a purr. In that moment, an unspoken friendship was forged, a secret bond between the mighty bull and the little boy. This became their secret ritual. Every afternoon, Leo would find a way to sneak off to Angus's pasture. He would share his soft, chewy teething crackers with the bull, who would delicately lick the crumbs from Leo's tiny palm. Angus, in turn, would show Leo his world. He would nudge a bright red ball with his nose, rolling it gently towards the boy. Leo would push it back with all his might, and they would play their quiet game for hours. Angus would sometimes lie down, a great, black mountain of gentleness, and Leo would rest his head against his warm, furry side, feeling safe and sound. Leo's parents, however, started to worry. They saw Angus's size and strength and, like the other farm animals, they were afraid. They reinforced the fence and tried to keep a closer eye on Leo, not understanding the beautiful friendship that was blossoming. One late summer afternoon, the sky began to change. The cheerful blue was swallowed by a swirling mass of bruised purple clouds. A cool wind whispered through the willow trees, their branches dancing nervously. A storm was coming, a big one. Leo's father, a kind man named Thomas, rushed to secure the barn doors, while his mother, Maria, hurried to bring the chickens into their coop. The wind howled, and the first fat drops of rain began to fall. In the rush, no one noticed that the window to Leo's nursery had been left slightly ajar. Leo was fast asleep in his crib, dreaming of sunny afternoons and a gentle, black bull. He was oblivious to the growing fury of the storm outside. Angus was in his pasture, his strong legs planted firmly in the earth as the storm raged around him. He wasn't afraid of the thunder or the lightning, but as a particularly fierce gust of wind ripped through the valley, he heard a sickening crack. He looked up just in time to see a massive branch from the old willow tree, groaning and splintering. It was hanging precariously, right above the nursery window where he knew his little friend was sleeping. A jolt of fear, cold and sharp, shot through Angus. With a mighty roar that was lost in the thunder, he charged at the fence. The wooden rails that had once seemed so strong splintered like twigs under his powerful assault. He was free. He galloped towards the farmhouse, his hooves churning the muddy ground into a spray of earth and rain. The branch creaked ominously. Inside, the sound of the storm had finally woken Leo. He sat up in his crib, his blue eyes wide with fear. Just as the branch began its final, terrifying descent, Angus reached the farmhouse. He didn't hesitate. He lowered his massive head and slammed his powerful horns into the falling limb. The impact was tremendous. With a mighty heave, he pushed with all his strength, diverting the path of the branch. It crashed to the ground with a deafening thud. The commotion brought Thomas and Maria running from the barn. They rounded the corner of the house and froze, their hearts leaping into their throats. They saw the shattered branch, the splintered fence, and standing there, panting heavily in the pouring rain, was Angus. He was standing guard by Leo's window. They saw not a fearsome beast, but a hero. They saw not a danger, but a guardian. They saw Leo's friend. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel for further amazing stories. See you in the next adventurous story.